Assalamualaikum and good day to you, Professor Fairuz. I am Muhammad Affan bin Haji Mohamud. I am from Set 9, Semester 2, 2022-2023, Masters in Business Administration. So today I am going to present to you the assignment 4 case study, and in this case, I will be answering question number 2, which have two sections, question 2A and question 2B. First of all, I will give to you the overall background about myself, and then I straightforward go into the question 2A in terms of the descriptions of the issue, and then I'll move on to the summary of overall question 2A answers, and then after that I'll move forward to the question 2B and provide the details required by the questions as well as the summary of the question 2B. I have introduced myself earlier. You can call me Affan. I am a professional engineer in manufacturing. I have about 14 years of working experiences, 8 years in manufacturing and about 6 years in services. Okay. I am mainly in aerospace and aviation industries between 2014 to present. Prior to that, I have worked in injection molding industry between 2009 to 2014. I am a graduate of bachelor's degree in manufacturing engineering from RMIT University in Melbourne, Australia between 2005 and 2008. In terms of my company background that I have worked in as listed in three companies. The first company is called Integris Malaysia Sdn Bhd. This is an injection molding company, and I worked there as manufacturing engineer for about 5 years. Secondly, I moved my career into Aerospace Composites Malaysia, and I worked there as lean manufacturing engineer for about 3 years. And after that, I worked as lean and CI manager in SR Techniques Malaysia Sdn Bhd from 2017 until present. Okay, now let's move to answer the assignment case study questions. And I will start with question 2A. Okay, question 2 in assignment 4 is about a person named Awang Akil, or denoted as AA, has been appointed as the new chairman of TESB due to the situations with previous chairman of fraudulent conduct and also scandals. So the board appointed Akil with a warning of mission to restore the profitability and stability after a period of these years of turmoil. So what AA did first is consult the CEO named DD. So basically, to understand the whole situation, so DD has explained to AA that there are about four situations with the company. The first thing first is about the shareholder expectations. So if you talk about shareholder expectations, the target from the board is for the company to achieve break even in 2014. This indicated that previous years with the previous chairman, the company has been making loss. So therefore, for the new chairman, AA has to achieve break-even status in his first year and subsequently achieve the profitabilities after that. So the board also warned that AA could be terminated if he cannot achieve that situation of break-even and profitability subsequently. And also, the board has ordered AA to restore and address operational and financial issues surrounding the company. The second situation that has been explained by DD about the company is about the overtime cost concerns. And this has been discovered by AA himself that 40% of manpower cost has been increased in 2013. And this has been explained by DD that that is due to understaffing that led towards mandatory and voluntary overtimes. There has been also operational issues, medical leaves and workplace injuries that has been increased due to fatigue of understaffing. Please also note that DD also mentioned there has been also systemic situations or issues relating with the fingerprint biometric scanning about the attendance of the staff. So, and some of the staff has been abusing that system whereby they did not turn out to the work, but the system captured them as turning up to the work. Okay, so that have direct implications toward costing of the company and can also be part of the reason whereby the cost has been increased. And you can see from these situations, it directly related with what may be the scandals and also fraudulent conducts by the previous chairman in relation with the cost required to be paid. The proposal for the new fingerprint biometric system has been rejected because of high cost and contradict to the situations with previous chairman. It can be seen that there may be analysis that has been neglected or non-negotiable by the previous chairman about having a new fingerprint biometric system. We move on into the third situation explained by the CEO, DD, whereby the staff turnover and recruitment has been circulating around the company, where the turnover rate is about 19%. The situation with that has been explained that other industries or other companies has been paying 36% higher than the company has been paying our staff. And it has been difficult for the company to retain our skilled employees, and most of them, especially the young ones, has been left within a year. Next, the employee development and also advancement, and it has been highlighted by DD that training program has been offered to our staff but has not been appealing or attracting the people due to their career progression as well as their growth of their professional careers. So it has been highlighted also that unclear succession planning and recruitment of younger talents has not been good enough for the company to retain our staff. And there has been highlighted that disparities has been happening due to the situation with our staff mostly consists of 40 years old and above. That is the overall grasp about the situation that happened at TESB after AA taking over. And we shall move to question 2A to understand the more detailed situations with the stakeholders' concerns around the TSB. Okay, we go towards question 2A, whereby the question asks about stakeholder issues description. If you understand back from previous slide that I have presented, the four categories that has been described by DD, I have incorporated that into at least another two description of the situation. The first situation is about financial issues facing by the company. If you look about the goal that has been given to AA from his appointment, is basically to achieve break even from the first year and then subsequently achieve profitability. This indicated that the company is facing or having or made loss from the previous years with the chairman, and it can be related towards operational, social, and economic strategies by the board or the team of the company. Secondly, it is about the operational issues that we have been talking about. So you have high overtime costs, you have workplace safety concerns, you have turnover rate high, and you have issues with training and career development. And people has been leaving the company due to age disparity. So if you look further into these operational issues, how can it be related to the corporate governance? So the high overtime cost indicated that the company doesn't care that everyone is working long hours or more than acceptable hours by the labor law, which is 42 hours per week in Malaysia. So this indicated that the company just want to make money and business, but doesn't care that the health and the recovery of our staff coming to work is not their most priority. So people also has been complaining due to the fact that they receive more money, but the fact that the efficiency of working has been low and impacted the financial results that I mentioned earlier, indicated that the strategies conducted by the previous chairman has not been working well, with non-compliance of labor law, non-compliance of the corporate governance ethics. Okay, in terms of the turnover, training, and career development, it has been interrelated between each other. So people felt that the training provided by the company not suited or not according to what they will progress in the future in terms of their professional development. And the situation with age disparity is also a main concern because the company may has been retaining most of 40 and years old and above, but has not been getting younger talents and retain them, as most of them left within the year. So this has direct relation with the corporate governance strategy within the company, and this must be taken care by AA in terms of the strategy to improve to in order to achieve break even. So first, again, I repeat, the situation with the company in terms of stakeholder issues has direct relation with the corporate governance. So you have financial issues that is resulted from these operational issues, and these operational issues has been disregarded by the board members of the company, particularly the chairman. And as you know, in terms of the situation with the previous chairman, has been reported as scandalous and fraudulent. So this might have direct relation in terms of cost required to be paid for the company to perform better. But however, if you look the situation in terms of high overtime cost itself, it clearly can indicate that the company doesn't really care or doesn't prioritize the health of the people in order to work efficiently. So people just work long enough to get more money. All right. And then in terms of the implications towards the corporate governance, it is a clear violation of labor law and ethical standards, governance effectiveness, compliance, stakeholder interest and ethics, and also lack of risk management strategies. So the company doesn't have any solution or any strategy to tackle the understaffing issue other than giving more overtime to the company, which have impacted high costs. And you can understand that by having most of the staff have of 40 years and above. So these guys may have achieved the ceiling of their salaries, and by having overtime, they might also receiving high end of this overtime pays. So this is the situation that directly impact the financial issues of the company. So all in all, in terms of the corporate governance challenge, it is clearly an oversight failure in labor law adherence, inadequate risk management strategies, lack of succession planning affecting stability. So this is direct relation with corporate governance within the company. So to answer and summarize the situation with question 2A, it can be seen that overall the root cause of the situations with TASB is about corporate governance, which resulted into operational issues and subsequently impacted their financial results. So in this case, I would cap this question to A by having the TASB case highlights this symbiotic relationship. So both of the situations of financial issues and operational issues are intertwined with the corporate governance. Okay, because it has been resulted from poor corporate governance. And all in all, we can cap this and summarize it as a corporate governance issue, as corporate governance issue is crucial in shaping organizational efficiency, which will reflect overall performances. Stakeholder needs and ethical obligations must come hand in hand. That is the situation with question 2A. Now let's move into question 2B. Question 2B is asking about suggestions on how the chairman AA should address stakeholder concerns in context of corporate responsibility. So in this section, I will explain how AA should approach and improve the situation of the company so that he can achieve the break even and subsequently achieve profitability. If we look back at previous slides explanations, the four key areas that I has been highlighted earlier mainly focus on the understaffing, which directly related towards the second one, which is the workplace safety and also injuries. The third one basically highlighting about the low pay or low salary of the people in the company, whereby it is highlighted that the pay of the company for our staff is 36% lower than other companies in the industry. And the last one is the situation with the training and also development of people in the company, which made us struggle to retain these talents. So basically, what AA can start to do is open the Malaysia Code of Corporate Governance that has been developed by the Securities Commission of Malaysia since 2002. And the latest one is Malaysia Code of Corporate Governance 2021. So after he opened that, basically he can conduct the research and do the governance reforms within the company. I have highlighted here the three major situations that can be focused at first by AA. The first one is the chairman's role himself as AA as the chairman. Secondly is the ethical conduct and culture, and the stakeholder engagement as the third focus. Other than that can be interrelated within what I will be explaining later. So basically the first one, the chairman's role, AA as the chairman, what he can do first is basically construct the framework of corporate responsibility. So what he can do basically is having the audit committee, having the remuneration committee, having the risk management committee, and also having the nomination committee. So the first task of forming these committees, I believe, should be the nomination committee. So in order to have the right people at the right place and position, he should have the nomination committee formed correctly, so that these peoples that will be filling the positions of other committees will be the right person and competent person in order to have the situations improve. Secondly, in terms of ethical conduct and culture, what AA can do after nominating people that is competent enough into the audit committee, AA can use the audit committee to conduct and also research in terms of ethics and also culture in the company, and have situations observed and come up with proposals to improve the situation. So that is why I highlighted earlier that nomination committee comes first within the situation of this TESB case, because in order to have the correct audit committee, you have to have the right nomination committee first. So audit committee can be used to study on the ethical conduct and culture. And the third one, the stakeholder engagement. This is the most important role that needs to be played by AA himself as the CEO. So he needs to align the company's vision and goals to the stakeholders so that everyone can achieve the win-win situation that is upon the financial can be resulted in financial results for the company, which can make everyone's in the company happy. So basically, to relate with other factors that I highlighted here, so for example, you can see the workplace safety and injury situation. AA can nominate the risk management committee to study the whole situation and improve. For example, they can promote the zero tolerance on safety issues and invest on safety in order to improve the work conditions. They can also having few task forces within the company in order to promote the safety situation. Another example that can be conducted is the remuneration community, which can handle the overtime costs and well-being of the company. So with the situations that the low pay of 36% lower than other industries, other company in the same industry, so this remuneration committee can study and research of on why it has been low that much, and how can the company provide better salary package for the company, so that subsequently we can retain we can attract and also retain young talents on top of what we have with 40 years old and older peoples working within the company. So remuneration committee can take over the situation of overtime costs and well-being situation in order also to tackle the situation with young talents and also the development and turnovers. Other than that, basically, all in all, the situation with systemic loopholes and also development and turnovers can also be discussed within the board members with the results of outcomes from the research conducted by all these committees and review the proposals that will be tabled by this team in order to achieve the situation of corporate responsibility within the company. So as a chairman, AA need to conduct this research upon guidance by the Malaysian Code of Corporate Governance and do the reform within the company. But of course, again, I reiterate here, the nomination committee is very essential in order to turn over the results and have that financial impact for the company. As a summary for question 2B, basically we learn that the situation with TASB have a lot to do with the corporate governance on top of the operational and also financial issues surrounding the company. And as we can see from what I have presented earlier, another addition that can be added towards the policies or committees that I have proposed to AA to conduct in order to improve the governance. Internal whistleblowing policy can also be added within the company to protect the board members, the stakeholders, and the company as a whole. So basically, this is also important to prevent the situations that has been faced by the company with the previous chairman of scandals and also fraudulent conduct. So as to understand the whole situation with question 2, it is highly related with corporate responsibility. And what we have learned within this case study is basically corporate responsibility encourages sustainability in all company. So collaboration with peers within industry can stimulate ideas in tackling challenges. Stakeholders' concerns can be resolved with structured frameworks, policies, and visionary goals. So what this means is basically can continue research and observe within limited time that is given by the board and also do improvements and governance reform immediately by having these committees. And again, I reiterate the structure and framework of the corporate responsibility and governance of the company formed by AA later on is crucial in order to turn over the results for the company, especially in particularly on the understaffing, the low salary package, the training and career development, as well as retaining these talents. In addition to that, the safety issues and health concerns highlighted must also be focused in order for the company to move further because everything relates that if everything involved the situation that has been presented have a social impact for a worker and for the company as a whole. So in order to achieve that, collaboration with industries is also important whereby AA can have forums or seminars with other industries to gain further knowledge on how to tackle these issues within his company in order to tackle these stakeholder issues, which will impact the company as a whole financially and in terms of health. Secondly, the integration of corporate governance within the company structure and strategy will definitely empower the chairman AA himself to navigate challenges and while fostering sustainability and stakeholder trust. So this is essentially important for the company to grow and AA has the most biggest responsibility for the company to achieve that. I would end this presentation and I hope my presentation answers every question in assignment 4 question 2. Before I end, I would like to thank you, Professor Fairuz, for teaching me the Business Ethics and Governance subject in UKM for Masters in Business Administration. This subject definitely opened my eyes and path in the future for further success. I have not learned before in any situations with my previous schools or academic career that on this topic, but with this class, I have definitely learned a lot and I would like to thank you, Professor Fairuz. for your knowledge and also your kindness to share your experiences. Thank you and Assalamualaikum.